everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to fit a new Spur gear for a Traxxas X-MAXX, preferably for the 8S version, but you probably would be able to get away with doing this for the 6S as well. The reason being is because the 8S has a cush drive, and I think that's what it's called, and the 6S has a slipper clutch, and I'm not really sure how you do that. But anyway, this process will work for either a bigger Spur or a smaller Spur. The reason why you're going to want to know this is because it's a really useful process to know how to do, because as soon as you want this truck to go faster, straight away the cheapest way to do that is by upgrading the Spur and pinion gear. Also, the standard gears aren't the strongest, so I advise upgrade the Spur gears and pinion gears relatively soon before you break anything else. So once again, most of the footage will be shot on my GoPro. Pretty much the whole video will be shot on this. The sound quality is actually pretty good, and so is the film quality. So for this job, I'll be using this Bosch IXO screwdriver and these EDS racing power tool tips. So you'll be needing a 2.5mm and a 2mm hex wrenches. I'll be using these, but as always, I do the last bit up by hand with those, as I won't strip the bolts out. So first, let's remove this gear cover to have access to the pinion and spur. So it is worth noting that the standard gearing on the X-MAXX, on the 8S X-MAXX, is a 18-tooth pinion and a 54-tooth spur. On the 6S X-MAXX, it is a 54 spur but a 15-tooth pinion, I believe. So if you just pop that to the side there, now we can see we have the pinion and spur gear. So next we're just going to remove this cover here. There we go. What you need to remember is that the long screws go on the outside and the small screws go on the inside. I guess you could say these are the outside because it's kind of closer to the edge of the truck, but meh. So here we go. We can now remove the cush drive without having to remove the pinion. There we go. Out it comes. Cool, so here we go. This is my 50-tooth spur. And all I'm going to need to do now is just place that down here. Cool, so let's fit the 2mm hex. We're going to need our 2mm. If I just kind of hold it up here so I can show you guys. So just 3 screws at the top and then that will be off. Alright, so that's the original spur gear off. So if I just pop that to the sides with its bolts. It is also worth noting that this spur came with the bolts. Normally I don't think they do come with them. That is actually a GPM spur gear, which I put on maybe a few months ago now. But they came with their own screws. Normally they don't. So all I need to do is just put this new one on, screw in the screws, pop it back in, and then we should be good to go. However, that is only if you have the original gearing. If you've changed the gear ratio, so okay, smaller or bigger pinion or smaller or bigger spur, then we're going to have to begin this next process, which isn't too difficult and it isn't much longer either. You just need to be careful. So if we just carefully fit that in there, good, that's in. So now we'll just replace this cover, and then the next process of moving the position of the motor shall begin. Okay, so the cover is back on, and as you can see, if I spin this, the pinion isn't moving, and that's because the motor is too far away. So if I just pop this in, all you need to do to move the motor is flip the truck upside down, and then you need to remove these 4 motor screws. Underneath the motor there are 2 pins that hold it down to keep it in position. So you want to make sure that you don't lose those because they are key to making sure that your gearing doesn't go all messed up. Sometimes these motor screws can be a bit of a pain to get out. Right, that's one. And if the other's staying, that's fine. So now the motor is loose. So if we just pop it to the side there. Actually, yeah, this way now you can see a bit more. So as you can see down here, there is a little gearing chart. Sorry, it's the wrong way around for you guys. But so the natural position for the X-MAXX, the standard, is in I. And you'll be able to tell by looking at this chart here. So if you see I 1854, So I'm using 1846, so that means I'll need to be moving them to E. Luckily, I've got very small hands, so that means it's pretty easy for me to do that. But if you've got bigger hands and probably an adult, then you'll most likely need to use a pair of long-nosed pliers. So now that's been set, we just plonk the motor in. I think, is it gone in? Not sure yet. There we go. Yep, as you can see, pliers fixed in, and you can see now that the mesh has been set. The way you can tell also that it's right is by the gears touching, and also if you hold the spur, there's a bit of play from the spur gear. So now all we've got to do is just hold the motor as we flip the truck over. Oh, this is quite difficult. Oh my gosh, this truck is heavy. Whew. Right, so now all we've got to do is screw the motor screws back in, put that on, and then we should be good to go. Alright, so guys, as you can see, the gear mesh is set, drives just perfectly. So I put this gear on because I wanted a bit more speed, so I can do more flips and it can go faster. And in theory, it should be better for jumping, have a bit more fun, but then again, I don't need more speed for more fun. But I just decided I've got the gear, so why not just give it a shot? If I don't like it, then I will move it back to the 50, but it's most likely that I will keep this. So all I need to do then is pop this cover on, pop the body on, and then that will be my X-MAXX ready to go. Alright, so there we have it, one X-MAXX with faster gearing. So hopefully very soon we should be able to take it out. Preferably maybe in the next few days we can take it out, do a few flip tests, and maybe also at some point give it a proper speed run, because the last time I did that it was on the grass. And as you know, on grass it's a bit slower. Also, future videos coming up, I'm going to be doing the comparison between the Outback Mini and the Devastator. Also, something exciting is that we're going to be doing a track race with my electric scooter against my brother's Tamiya Vanessa's lunchbox. So that should be fun. We should be seeing that hopefully maybe in the next week or two. So until then, I really hope you did enjoy this video. Make sure if you did that you leave a like and subscribe. I hope you have a brilliant day all week ahead, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye.